6 months. That's how long Jenna has been gone. 183 days since I came home to an empty house and a life turned inside out. No note, no confrontation, no dramatique exit. She just disappeared like smoke, taking every trace of herself with her. And the worst part, everyone, my family, her family, our friends, even strangers on the internet, thinks I got exactly what I deserved. My name is Laurence, and I'm losing my mind trying to find a woman who clearly never wants to be found. It started with such a small thing. I'd left my laptop open on the kitchen counter while I ran to answer the door. A delivery, nothing important. When I came back, Jenna was standing there staring at the screen. Her face was blank, which should have been my first warning. Jenna's face was never blank. She was the most expressive person I knew. Every emotion written clearly across her features. "What's wrong?" I asked, setting the package down. She didn't answer. Just closed the laptop quietly and walked upstairs. I heard drawers opening, the closet door sliding. By the time I made it up there, she had a suitcase on the bed, methodically folding clothes. "Jenna, what are you doing?" Still no answer. She moved with purpose, taking only essentials. Work clothes, toiletries, her grandmother's watch. Nothing we'd bought together, nothing that carried memories of us. "Will you please talk to me? I'm getting scared now." "What did you see?" She paused then, just for a moment, looked at me with eyes I couldn't recognize. Empty, distant, like I was a stranger on the street. "Everything," she said quietly, then went back to packing. My stomach dropped as I realized what she meant. The messages. Months of messages between me and Alexandra, my coworker. Explicit messages, photos, plans for our next meeting. All there in my email, carelessly left open for anyone to see. "Jenna, I can explain." "No." One word, firm but not angry. "No explanations. No fights. No drama. I'm done. You can't just leave. Watch me." And I did. Watched her zip the suitcase, grab her keys, walk past me like I was furniture. I followed her downstairs, begging, crying, making every promise I could think of. She didn't respond to any of it. Just loaded her car and drove away. That was June 15th, a Tuesday. I thought she'd come back once she cooled off. Women always came back, didn't they? They yelled. They stormed out. They needed space. Then they returned for the inevitable confrontation. The tears, the accusations, the bargaining, maybe counseling, maybe conditions for staying together. That was how these things worked. But Jenna didn't follow the script. I called her hundreds of times that first week. Every call went straight to voicemail. Her inbox filled up. I texted novels of apologies, explanations, pleases. The messages showed delivered, but never read. I drove to her work. They said she'd taken a leave of absence. I went to her brother's house. No one answered. Her parents' place. Her mother looked at me through the window and closed the curtains. By week 2, panic set in. This wasn't normal. People didn't just vanish because of an affair. They fought. They hurt. They processed. They didn't simply erase themselves from your life like they never existed. I tried everything. Posted on her Facebook. She'd blocked me. Instagram, Twitter, even LinkedIn. Blocked everywhere. Created fake accounts. Somehow still blocked. Like she had a sixth sense for my digital presence. I emailed her work address. It bounced back. Account deactivated. Our mutual friends were no help. They'd all chosen sides, and it wasn't mine. "Have you heard from Jenna?" I asked Maddox, who I'd considered my best friend. "Yes," he said simply. "Is she okay?" "Where is she?" "She's fine, and she doesn't want you to know where she is." "Maddox, please. I made a mistake, but this is insane. She can't just disappear." "Apparently she can," he said. "And honestly, Laurence, after what you did, I don't blame her." "What I did? I had an affair. People have affairs all the time. They don't just." "You had an affair with her cousin's wife," Maddox interrupted. "At their wedding reception, while Jenna was giving the maid of honor speech." Hearing it said out loud like that made it sound so much worse than how I justified it in my head. Alexandra and I had been flirting for months. The wedding was just where things finally happened. And yes, it was his cousin Emmett's new wife, but their marriage was already rocky. Everyone could see that. That's not. It wasn't like that. Maddox's voice was cold. Because Emmett found out when he saw the messages on your laptop, too. The ones where you described in detail what you did in the coat room while he was having his first dance. He's filing for divorce, by the way. 3 months of marriage ruined. So yeah, Laurence, Jenna vanished. Can you blame him? He hung up. I stared at my phone processing this new information. Emmett had seen the messages too. But how? Oh no. I'd been at their house that morning using their computer to print directions. I must have forgotten to log out of my email. Jenna must have been showing Emmett something on the laptop when they found the full weight of what I'd done start to sink in. Not just an affair with family at a family event, documented in vivid detail. The humiliation Jenna must have felt. The betrayal not just of me cheating, but of who I'd chosen and when. I tried to fix things with Emmett first, thinking maybe if I could repair that damage, Jenna might talk to me. But Emmett had blocked me too. Her entire family had closed ranks. Alexandra, of course, was dealing with her own fallout and wanted nothing to do with me. This was just fun, she'd texted before blocking me too. Not worth destroying my life over. By month 2, I was unraveling. Jenna had been surgical in her disappearance. Our joint bank accounts had been properly divided. She'd taken exactly half, not a penny more. The house was in my name, a gift from my parents, so she had no claim. But she'd removed every trace of herself. Her clothes, her books, her gaming setup, the stupid movie posters I'd always complained about, even photos. She'd taken them all, leaving empty frames and blank spaces on the walls. I hired a private investigator. Felt like a stalker doing it, but I was desperate. The PI took my money, did some digging, came back with nothing. Your wife doesn't want to be found, he said. Changed her phone number, moved out of state, paid cash for everything. Only thing I can confirm is she filed for divorce in Nevada. Quick, clean, no-fault state. Papers should arrive soon. They did. Delivered by courier on a random Wednesday. Simple dissolution, no demands, no accusations, just a request to end our 5-year marriage as efficiently as possible. Her signature was already there, a P.O. box for correspondence. No way to track her. I refused to sign for weeks, thinking it was the only leverage I had. If she wanted a divorce, she'd have to face me. But my lawyer explained that wasn't how it worked. She can get the divorce without you, she said. It'll just take longer. And frankly, fighting it makes you look worse. Sign the papers, Laurence. Let the woman go. But I couldn't. Not without seeing her one more time. Not without making her understand that yes, I'd made a terrible mistake. But we had 5 years together, a life plans. You don't just throw that away without at least a conversation. I started going to places I thought she might show up. Her favorite coffee shop in Columbus where we'd had our first date. The bookstore where she spent Saturday afternoons. The hiking trails she loved. Nothing. It was like she'd been erased from the world. Month 3 I cracked. Started posting on social media about our situation. Not the details. I wasn't that stupid. But vague posts about missing her, about mistakes and forgiveness, about second chances. I thought maybe if I could get enough sympathy, enough people on my side, someone would tell me where she was. It backfired spectacularly. Someone, I never found out who, posted the real story in the comments. The affair, the cousin's wedding, the graphic messages. Within hours, I was trending on Reddit. Man cheats with bride at wedding. Shocked when wife vanishes became a viral sensation. The comments were brutal. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This is the level of petty I aspire to. Queen just said nope and bounced. He really thought she'd stick around after that level of disrespect, delusion. Strangers from around the world weighed in on my marriage, my character, my appearance. They found my Instagram, my LinkedIn, everything. The messages ranged from calling me names to detailed descriptions of what they thought I deserved. I had to make everything private, but screenshots lived forever. My employer saw the posts. HR called me in for a meeting about maintaining professional standards and representing the company values. I wasn't fired, but I was definitely on thin ice. Alexandra had already been let go. Turned out she'd been using her company credit card for our hotel rooms. The worst part was the isolation. Friends who'd stood by me through other bad decisions drew the line here. My sister, who'd always defended me, just shook her head when I tried to explain. You humiliated her, she said. Not just by cheating, but by doing it with Emmett's wife at her wedding while Jenna was giving a speech about love and commitment. Do you understand how that must have felt to find those messages describing what you were doing while she was up there talking about sanctity of marriage? 2. I made a mistake. You made a choice. A cruel, selfish choice. And now you're facing the consequences. Jenna doesn't owe you closure. She doesn't owe you anything. By month 4, I was seeing a therapist. Not because I wanted to, but because I was literally losing my mind. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't focus on anything but finding Jenna. The therapist, Dr. Martinez, was the first person who didn't immediately judge me. Tell me about the affair, he said. Not the details, but why? What were you looking for? I'd never really thought about it. Excitement, I guess. Jenna was safe, predictable. Alexandra was dangerous. Dangerous how? She was married. Unavailable. It was thrilling. All the sneaking around. And the fact that she was married to Jenna's cousin. I didn't plan that. It just happened at their wedding. We'd been flirting for months. The wedding was just opportunity. Dr. Martinez made notes. How do you think Jenna felt when she found out? Betrayed, hurt, angry. Those are all valid. What else? I thought about it. Really thought about it for the first time. Humiliated. Like our whole relationship was a joke. Like she was a fool for trusting me. And what do you think someone feeling those things might need? Space, I admitted quietly. Distance. Time to heal without the person who hurt them making it worse. So why are you trying so hard to find her? Because I need her to know I'm sorry, that it wasn't about her, that I love her. Do you? Or do you love the stability she represented? That question haunted me. Did I love Jenna? Or did I love the life we'd built? The steady paycheck, the nice house, the certainty of having someone who'd always be there? When I thought about what I missed, it was Sunday mornings in bed, her cooking, the way she handled my family drama, comfortable things, safe things. I don't know. I finally answered. Then perhaps her disappearance is a gift, he said. For both of you. Month 5 brought an unexpected development. My cousin ran into Jenna's sister at a concert in Nashville. She mentioned Jenna was doing well, had a new job, was seeing someone. That last part sent me spiraling. Seeing someone already? We weren't even officially divorced yet. How could she move on so fast? It had been 5 months. I'd destroyed my life for her, lost friends, become internet infamous, and she was dating. I redoubled my efforts to find her. Hired a different PI, one with fewer scruples. He found Jenna in Oregon, working for a tech company, living in a small apartment. No social media presence, no listed phone number, but alive and apparently thriving. I booked a flight immediately, showed up at her work, waited in the parking lot like a stalker. When she walked out, laughing with co-workers, my heart stopped. She looked good, healthy, happy even. Her hair was longer. She'd grown a beard, but it was unmistakably Jenna. She saw me before I could approach. The laughter died on her face, replaced by that same blank expression from 6 months ago. She said something to her co-workers, who glanced my way and quickly dispersed. Then she walked to her car, a new one I didn't recognize, without acknowledging me. Jenna, wait. She stopped but didn't turn around. How did you find me? Does it matter? We need to talk. No, we don't. 5 years, Jenna. Don't I deserve? She turned then, and the look in her eyes stopped me cold. Not anger, not hurt, just nothing. Like I was a problem to be solved. Not a person she'd once loved. Deserve. You deserve what you gave me, Laurence. Nothing. No explanation, no closure, no dramatic confrontation. Just absence. That's not fair. Fair. She almost smiled. Was it fair when you fucked Alexandra in the coat closet while I was telling 300 people how love conquers all? Was it fair reading messages about how boring I was in bed compared to her? Was it fair finding out from my cousin that my husband was why her marriage ended after 3 months? I never meant. I don't care what you meant. I care what you did. Her voice remained calm, steady. And what you did told me everything I needed to know about how much I mattered to you. You mattered. You still matter. Jenna, please. Stop. She held up a hand. This is what you wanted, isn't it? Drama, excitement, passion. Well, I'm not giving it to you. I'm not going to yell or cry or fight for us. I'm just going to live my life without you in it. What about forgiveness? Seconde chance. Forgiveness isn't about you. I'll forgive you eventually, for my own peace. But that doesn't mean I have to let you back in my life. Second chances are for people who make mistakes. You made choices, calculated, deliberate choices for months. A man approached, handsome in an understated way. He touched Jenna's arm gently, looked between us with concern. Everything okay? He asked. Fine, Jenna said, her voice softening for him. Laurence was just leaving. Laurence, not my ex-husband or any explanation. Just my name like I was anyone. No one special. Is this why you won't talk to me? I demanded. Because of him? No, she said simply. I won't talk to you because I have nothing to say. Go home, Laurence. Sign the divorce papers. Move on. I have. She got in her car with the man, drove away without looking back. I stood in that parking lot in a strange city, finally understanding that it was really over. Not because she'd found someone else, but because she'd found peace without me. I flew home that night, signed the divorce papers the next morning. The filing was quick, uncontested. By month 6, now, I'm officially divorced, officially alone, officially the villain in a story that went viral and then forgotten by everyone except me. Jenna never came back online, never unblocked me, never gave me the confrontation I'd expected, the chance to explain or apologize or make promises. She just removed herself from my life as efficiently as she'd once planned our future together. My therapist says I'm grieving not just the relationship, but the narrative I'd created about what would happen. I thought there'd be drama, passion, a chance for redemption. Instead, I got silence. The opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference. And Jenna's complete indifference to my existence is driving me insane. Why does her reaction bother you so much? Dr. Martinez asked last week. Because it's like I never mattered. Like 5 years meant nothing. Or perhaps it meant so much that the only way she could heal was to act as if you never existed. Sometimes the deepest cuts require the most distance. I see Alexandra sometimes around town. We don't acknowledge each other. She's trying to save her marriage, I heard. Good luck with that. Emmett still won't speak to me. Not that I blame her. The friends I lost haven't come back. The internet has moved on to other scandals, but I'm still here in this house full of empty picture frames, Googling how to find someone who doesn't want to be found at 3 a.m. Still checking my phone for messages that won't come. Still expecting Jenna to eventually crack, to need closure the way I do. She won't. I know that now. Jenna gave me exactly what I gave her. A unilateral decision to end things without input or consideration. She found out I cheated and she vanished. And somehow that's worse than any fight we could have had, because fighting would mean she still cared. Disappearing means she decided I wasn't worth the effort. Everyone thinks I deserve this. The isolation, the silence, the complete erasure from her life. They're probably right. I humiliated her in the worst possible way at the worst possible time with the worst possible person. I turned our marriage into a punchline and her family into collateral damage. But knowing you deserve something doesn't make it easier to bear. I'm losing my mind trying to understand how someone can surgically remove 5 years from their life without a backward glance. How they can resist the human need for answers, for resolution, for the last word. The answer is simple, though I hate it. She could walk away because I'd already left. Every time I met Alexandra, every lie I told, every moment I spent in another woman's bed, I was leaving Jenna. She just made it official. I started therapy thinking it would help me get her back, or at least get her to talk to me. Instead, I'm learning to live with the consequences of my choices. To sit with the discomfort of being the villain in my own story. To accept that not every ending comes with closure, and not every mistake earns forgiveness. Jenna vanished because that was the kindest thing she could do for both of us. Fighting would have been easier, but walking away was cleaner. She gave me what I'd been chasing with Alexandra. A life without her in it. The fact that I want her back now that she's gone is just another cosmic joke. I'm the man who cheated at a family wedding with the bride. I'm the one who got exposed on Reddit and became a cautionary tale. I'm the ex-husband whose wife disappeared rather than deal with his betrayal. And I'm slowly accepting that this, the silence, the absence, the nothing, is exactly what I deserve. Everyone else figured that out 6 months ago. I'm just catching up. Gender swap complete. Logic preserved.